Hello everybody, welcome to the tutorial for Heartbroken Kiki by Hisaishi. We're going to start with learning how to play the melody in a closed position. So closed position means that you don't use open strings. So if you look at the melody on its own, just the notes in open position, it's fairly simple. The only issue with that is that you can't do vibrato on all the notes, you use a lot of open strings. So if we play it here, you've got a little bit more control over the tone. The next thing we'll do is add the bass line. So from an A minor chord, the bass line drops down one semitone at a time over 4 bars. So I'm in drop D tuning so that some of the other chords of the D minor chords can be played with a nice bass notes in there. If I didn't have that, then some of those chords would be, they don't have the depth. So here I'll add the melody with the bass. And then go into open position before coming into the next part of the D minor. There's a few different positions you could play that in. I've just felt comfortable playing around here, around the 5th fret, just so I can do some vibrato on these notes and have a bass line really nice and comfortable underneath. The next thing to add, once you've practiced the melody and you practice adding the bass, is to add the accompaniment notes. So the accompaniment notes for those 4 bars are just an A minor chord. So we're going to use about 2 notes every time we play that A minor chord. So I'll play the accompaniment louder than the rest. So there I'm just using A and C, or A and E if the C is in the melody. So there's our A minor chord around the 5th fret. So now to get the balance across everything, just a gentle vibrato on the melody. Use the flesh of the thumb to get a very nice warm bass note, and with the accompaniment, just very softly is enough to show the A minor chord coming through there. Later in the piece you get artificial harmonics. So artificial harmonics means you play a harmonic which would normally be on the 12th fret, but we need to fret a note, so we move that 12th fret up by 1 fret. So if I'm playing open E, the natural harmonic's on the 12th, but then if I'm playing an F, we would have an artificial harmonic on the 13th. So artificial harmonics, you need to use your right hand to pluck and to press the note over the halfway point. So a good way of practicing that, pick an A minor scale, and you'll find that these notes are 12 frets up. So if I play those same notes, that's where my right hand is going to be pressing while I'm doing the left hand. So I've got everything happening 12 frets higher than what I'm fretting. So if we're playing the melody up here, I'll need to find notes 12 frets up for the artificial harmonics. And then this is probably the most difficult part, is getting that shift, because you got to sort of watch both hands at once. Later on in the piece, you'll get the last few chords also with the artificial harmonics. The very last G chord has an artificial harmonic on top, but these two notes will be played normal. So with your right hand, you'll need to fret the harmonic with I, pluck it with A, and then have the normal two notes with M and P. So that's fretting, plucking with those two at the same time. That's probably the most difficult technique to get used to in this piece. If you're still learning the artificial harmonics, you can still make this piece good by changing your tone. Just be very sort of soft and gentle on the repeat. So you might want to go near the bridge for ponticello sound. Or you can go really testo if you want. Etc. for the same sort of sound there. For the very last chord, all of these are normal artificial harmonics, and for the very last note, you could play the artificial harmonic here, or you could find the halfway point again and get an octave higher. So you can play it here, or you can do the very last note. Basically, it's going to be a few octaves up from the one that you're fretting. 2 octaves actually, because this is 1 octave. That's an octave higher.